come with me to the Algerian Sahara Desert. Spreading across most of Algeria and lots of North Africa, the Sahara Desert is a golden landscape punctuated by gorgeous smooth dunes and craggy rock formations. In the heart of the Algerian Sahara sits a town called Taghit, home to ancient petroglyphs, a historic old town and one of the world's biggest sand dunes. I had 24 hours to explore this town, and here's what I got up to.
Good morning from Taghit, Algeria. So we flew here yesterday evening. Taghit is in the central western region of Algeria. We actually flew for like 2 hours and we're only halfway down the country of Algeria. That's how big this country is. It's the largest country in Africa. But we are in the Sahara Desert, so we're surrounded by sand dunes. I need to verify this, but I did hear that the largest sand dune in the world is here. And we're going to find some cave paintings. We're going to hopefully go and tackle the sand dunes in some way, whether that be sandboarding or four-wheel driving or something, and yeah, just have a really nice day in the desert. We're only here for one day. We are actually flying back at 1 a.m. tonight, so it's going to be a jam-packed day, but welcome to 18 hours or so in Taghit, Algeria. We're staying at the Hotel Sahara, which is one of 4 hotels I think in this town. So we flew into Becha, which is about an hour and a half away from here, and it's not a very big place, and to be honest here looks just as big, but it's the place with an airport. So we flew there, had a transfer here last night, and then pretty much went to sleep, and then just woke up with these amazing sand dunes in the background. It's a really beautiful place, so let's go explore. So I think first on the agenda for today is going to see some cave paintings, but first thing in the morning we actually went for a swim. So the hotel we're staying at has a pool, and went to take a dip, which was really nice way to wake up, then had a shower, hence my wet hair, and gonna go grab some breakfast. Alright, breakfasted and ready for the day, so let's go check out these cave paintings.
So we drove about half an hour to get to these rock paintings, which are deep in the Sahara Desert. They're at the end of the road, so the road ends, and then you have to walk for a bit to get to these rock paintings. And I was just mesmerised with this scenery. It's like nothing I've ever really seen before, and I just couldn't get enough of staring at these dunes.
Just had a little stop by a sort of river going through, so it's kind of like an oasis in the middle of the desert, but this is incredible. These dunes are like nothing I've ever seen before.
I literally have about 5 million photos and videos on my camera roll, so enjoy some of those. So we got to the area where they have the rock paintings. This was a little bit more touristy. They had camel rides and there was a stall that sold paintings and things. But you can see there's not many other tourists around, so it was pretty epic. These particular rock paintings date back 10 million years, which is wild, and they depict some of the animals that used to be found in the area. It's thought that they were there as some sort of messaging or communication. It was really fun climbing over the rocks as well, and again just taking in these incredible views. And when we got to the bottom, we thought we'd purchase a traditional sand painting. That's really cool. Perfect.
I'm always a salesman, so whenever
we saw so many camels walking along the sand dunes on the way back, so we had to stop and take some photos of them. And then we also stopped at an oasis, which is one of the only kind of natural water resources in the Algerian Sahara, and it was really beautiful. Back in Taghit town, and it's time for lunch.
It is about 40 degrees here. Feels like I'm walking around in a furnace. So we've done the morning's activities, which was kind of seeing the dunes, seeing the desert, went to some rock paintings, which was really cool, and now we do have a few hours off, which is good because this heat is severe. I don't really want to be walking around in it, so I'm gonna go and submerge myself for a good couple of hours and just cool down, have some cold drinks, and it should be a nice afternoon. It is epic here, and do you know what, there are tourists around. There are local Algerian tourists, but not very many, and it's very rare these days that you come somewhere that's so untouched and it's just pristine. It is the middle of the Sahara Desert, so obviously that's such a vast space, but this is really the golden sand dunes they go on for miles, and They just all look so pristine and perfect. It's incredible. Would highly recommend a desert trip if you can. This isn't the easiest place to come to because it's a bit difficult to get an Algerian visa. Certainly not impossible. I got one. We're here. But once you are actually in Algeria, you have to have like permits to come here, and you have to have we had to have a police escort to take us from the airport to this town. Basically, it's about an hour and a half drive, so you can't really travel here completely independently. You do at least need a tour for this part, but the guides that we have been amazing, so I'm going to talk all about them in other videos, and all their details will be in the description below. So yeah, definitely recommend them. So yeah, it definitely is possible to come here, not as part of a completely organised tour like we're doing, but it does take a bit of planning. But would completely recommend it. It's an incredible place and it's very, very safe. It feels, it's very chilled out walking around. Everyone's so friendly, so kind. Everyone is saying hello. Everyone's very welcoming. So yeah, it's just generally a really lovely place to be. Unfortunately, because we are packing quite a lot into this week, we are leaving tonight, which I'm quite sad about. We're on a 1 a.m. flight out of here. But it's gonna enjoy the rest of the afternoon and the evening. And yeah, maybe we'll be back someday.
This was the outside of the lovely hotel that we were staying in. It was a really nice example of Saharan traditional architecture. And then I just went to the pool and just flopped out at the pool for a few hours, occasionally took a dip and just, tried to shelter a little bit from the 40-degree heat. When it had cooled down a little bit, although it was still very warm indeed, we went for a walk around the Taghit old town. So this is a 700-year-old town, and this is where everyone used to live. And it's an example of Saharan mud architecture. So this was what they used to make their homes in to keep them cool inside. So we had a little walk through here. We saw some more incredible viewpoints of the dunes. There's a bit of a theme going on by now. And just learnt a bit more about the history. It was historically a meeting place for people across the Sahara. Then it was the worst and simultaneously the best part of the day. We hiked right to the top of this massive sand dune, which was incredibly difficult because every time you took a step, our feet went backwards. But we hiked there for sunset, and it was probably the best sunset I've ever seen. Then we all bundled back up into the van and we went to the airport, but via our dinner stop, which was a Bedouin tent where we were served lentil soup, salad, and everyone else had chicken. And it was a really nice traditional dinner and a fantastic way to round off our time in the desert. After one last tea in the desert, we headed to the airport. I didn't really film anything because I was very tired by this point, but here we are driving back into Algiers. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you want to see the rest of my Algeria videos. And while you're here, why not check out my video all about how I got to Algeria, which was the 24-hour ferry from Marseille in France to Algiers. Thank you. Bye.